Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you all how I made these quick and easy entryway DIYs. So for the first DIY, you're going to need 2 of these mini pallets from Dollar Tree. Now I had already glued them together off camera. And then you're also going to need a wooden letter. So this one is an old one that I had from an old DIY a long time ago. So I'm going to clean that up and use that. I'll also have 2 sponge brushes. One will be for the paint. I'm going to be using this Apple Barrel Antique White paint. And the other sponge brush will be for the wood stain. So I'm going to start by taking one of my sponge brushes and I'm going to start to apply the wood stain all over the palette. Now I'm going to apply some and then I'm going to take a baby wipe and actually wipe off the excess. Okay, so I'm going to put that to the side and let that dry for about an hour or two. So I'm going to get started on this letter by just taking off all the pearls and the letters with my hand. Now I forgot to mention that I did get this wood letter at Walmart. They sell them for about $2, I believe. And I also seen that Dollar Tree has started selling wooden letters also. So you can definitely check out either Walmart or Dollar Tree for a wooden letter. They're really inexpensive. So I'm going to use these jewelry pliers here to kind of get the rest of the stuff off. I have this clay rose here that was really hard to get off with my hand, so I just used those pliers, and some of the pearls were a little hard to get off too. So once I've removed everything from the letter, I'm going to take a sanding block and just kind of smooth everything out as best I can. Like I said, I made this a really long time ago, so it kind of has like permanent holes and things like that on it. So I did my best at sanding this down, and then once I get it sanded down to where I want it, I will paint over it. Okay, so now that the palette and the letter A are dry, I'm just going to take my hot glue gun and glue on the wooden letter. Okay, so here is the finished look. Now I did end up deciding to add some florals and greenery to this DIY. So here I just have a lamb's ear pick and a rose from Dollar Tree, and I just made a little arrangement and put it on the top corner of the pallet sign. Okay, and here is the second finished look. So now moving on to DIY number 2, here is the DIY mask holder. So here I just have 4 of the wood planks that Dollar Tree carries. I have some wooden letters that I got from Walmart, some clothespins that were also from Walmart. I have some Loctite express wood glue, some white paint, my paint stain. I have some nautical rope, scissors, a paintbrush, and I also have a piece of burlap here. And then I also have some baby wipes and a glove to protect my hands from the wood stain. So the first thing I'm gonna do is paint the wooden letters and the clothespins white. Okay, so while the letters and the clothespins dry, I'm going to go ahead and start to stain my wooden planks. Okay, so now that all the planks are dry, I'm just going to go ahead and start gluing them together. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that I highly recommend the Loctite Express wood glue. The hold on this glue is phenomenal. It has such a good hold, like it secures whatever you're gluing together and it's permanent. Like there's no going back after you use this glue. So for projects like this, I know that we're going to be, using this and manipulating it a lot. So, it was really important that I had a really good quality glue. So yeah, if you're looking for a good wood glue that's pretty inexpensive, I paid about $4 for this at Walmart. This is definitely the glue that you want to get, and it's the express glue. All you need is about 10 to 20 minutes for drying time and you're good to go. So once I have the pieces glued together like this, I just glue two together on top of each other. Then I'm gonna glue these two pieces together, and I have these clamps here that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm just gonna use those to hold these in place while they dry. And you do want to make sure that you're cleaning up any excess glue that might seep out. When this dries, it does not dry clear, it does dry yellow, and although you can pretty much peel it off, like any excess glue usually does just peel right off. Just in case, you don't want that yellow color that the glue leaves when it's dry. You don't want that to show on your projects. Okay, so once they are all dried and secured, I'm going to take my letters and clothespins and just place them where I would like them to be. And I'm going to start to glue these down. Okay, so as you see here, I'm just taking some Q-tips and I'm cleaning up all the excess glue that is coming out from the letters and the clothespins. Q-tips are a really great way to clean up tight corners and edges and projects like this. So that's a little crafter's tip for y'all. Okay, so next I'm gonna take my nautical rope. So I ended up switching from the brown jute one to this white one here. So all I'm doing is I'm sort of making like a handle to hang the mask holder. So I'm just gonna measure out the rope, and it's kind of a good idea to measure on whatever hook or whatever you're gonna be hanging this on first to see how like high or low you want it. So it's definitely a good idea to do that first. Of course I didn't do that and I ended up having to go back and shorten it, but you still get the idea. You just cut a piece as long as you need it to be. And then the next step is I'm going to take a piece of this burlap ribbon. Now this is a wired ribbon, so it is a little more sturdy than the regular ribbon would be. And I'm going to just glue down the rope and basically put these strips of ribbon over the bottom of the rope to just give it a more secure hold. Okay, and here is the finished look for the DIY mask holders. So the next DIY is so simple. I just have a Dollar Tree frame here and they're peel and stick number stickers. So all I'm doing is taking the number 5 because that's the number of family members I have and I'm just sticking it on the frame. And that is the finished look for DIY number 3. So moving on to DIY number 4, I'm just going to take one of Dollar Tree's wooden houses. I have some wooden letters here that I got from Target a while back, and I have some white paint and a sponge brush. So I'm just going to paint the inside of this house white. Now I would suggest putting down some tape to protect the wooden edges. Of course, I didn't do that, so I did end up getting paint on the wood. So definitely put some tape down so that you don't run into this problem. But what I did was just used the sponge brush to get the big parts, and then later I just took a skinnier brush to get the edges. And another suggestion, if you don't want to actually paint this house and you want to maybe later change it, you could use peel and stick paper like wallpaper. You could even use a scrapbook paper or colored paper that you can change out at any time. So here I'm just taking a baby wipe and just trying to get some of that excess paint off while it was still wet. So yeah, I didn't get a lot of it off because it had already dried, but the paint that was still wet did come off easily. Okay, so once the paint is all dry, I'm just going to glue down my wooden letters. Alright, and here is the finished look for DIY number 4. Alright everybody, this is the end. Here are all the finished looks together. I hope you all stay with me to the end and you enjoy this video. So until next time, bye.